Welcome to Google Sheet tutorial. Today, I'll teach you how I have created my inventory tracker in Google Sheet. So with the help of this inventory tracker, you'll be able to track your complete inventory. You'll be able to track it. And then also you'll be able to track your sales. And then it also comes with the dashboard and the required graphs. So first, I'll show you how the complete inventory tracker is going to look like. So here is how my inventory tracker is going to look like. So in the first sheet, I'll have my inventory. So where I have listed down all the products, whatever I have, and then what is going to be the stock and the status of the stock also we'll be able to see whether it's out of stock or it's in stock or low stock. Next is I have the sales sheet. So where the sales is completely there. So all the sales for each and every day, whatever is the sales, it's completely listed with the delivery status. So whether it's delivered, shipped, or it has to be packed. So the complete status is also given over here. So next we'll have the dashboard. So here on the dashboard, we'll have what is the total number of products we have and then how many quantities are in stock and how many we have sold. So everything we'll be able to track. Here with the help of this graph, also we can understand how many products are out of stock or in stock. Everything we'll be able to see with the help of this particular dashboard. So I'll teach you from scratch how you can create an inventory tracker like this. Let's get started. So I opened a new Google Sheet and then here I have set the name as inventory tracker. So I'll go and name the first sheet as inventory. I'll try to come here and completely select this. I'll say merge center. So here I'll say inventory. So I'll increase the size of this. So this is going to be the title over here. So I'll try to increase the size, make this bold, and I'll also try to fill this with the color. So below this one, I'm going to have the complete inventory table. So first I'll have what is going to be my item and then what is the SKU. So SKU is nothing but the stock keeping unit. So we can have a unique code for each and every product. So that is going to be our SKU. And then we can have the category and then what type of product it's going to be. Then we'll have what is going to be the on hand. So that's what we have in stock. So how much quantity is left. And then we'll have what is going to be the minimum stock. Next, we'll have the status of the stock. So whether it's going to be out of stock or all the status, we'll be able to see here. So this is going to be the complete inventory over here. So I'll just try to adjust these columns. So I'll completely select this and then I'll increase size, make this bold, and I'll just try to fill this with the color. So below this one, now I can try to go and enter all my product. Let's say I'm trying to have a dry fruit company. So I'm just trying to sell dry fruits and nuts. So if I want to enter all the items, whatever products I have, I can just try to enter it over here. So let's say almonds. So that's going to be the first product. And the SKU can be I can have, so DN001. So that's going to be the SKU. So I'm going to give. And let's say the category, I'll have the category as nuts and the type is nothing but it's going to be a product. So how much quantity I have in stock, I can just say it over here. So let's say I have 500 quantity in stock. And then the minimum quantity, what I need to have is at least 100 is going to be the minimum quantity. So now we'll come for the status. So to do the status, what I'm going to do is I will try to have a small formula to calculate the status. So for example, I'll use the if condition. So and then I'll say if so whatever in hand, so if the in hand is going to be equal to 0, so I can say that as out of stock, right? So if there is no stock in hand, so in hand, then I'll say this as out of stock. So if the condition is going to be false, I'll have another one condition. So I'll say if, and then if the in hand is going to be less than the minimum stock, that means let's say if the in hand is going to be 50 and the minimum stock is 100. So if this condition is going to be true, then I can say it as low stock. So since we have low stock, right? So then I'll say low stock. So if the condition is going to be false, it's going to be in stock. So we have a required quantity. So that is what it says. So I'll just try to close this one. And then when I press enter, see I'm getting this as in stock. So if I try to go and change this to 40 units, see here it will automatically become low stock. So if I say this 0, so it will be out of stock. So automatically it will change. Okay, so now I'll have it as 500. So I can just try to go and fill this formula completely over here. Okay, since we are not having any value, so that's why I'm just getting out of stock over here. So now I'll just try to go and add the other products over here. So let's say the other product is going to be dried berries. So I'll say DN002 is going to be the SKU, and then it will come under the dried category, and there's going to be a product, and the in-hand stock, let's say it's going to be 50, but the minimum stock, let's say it's going to be 80. So now it will automatically convert this into low stock. So like this, I'll just try to go and add some more products in our inventory table. So like this, here in the complete inventory, I have added whatever products I have currently. So these are going to be my complete products. So now with the help of this inventory, you can try to go and add whatever products you have, and then automatically the status of the stock will get updated in this particular inventory sheet. So now next, let's try to create another one sheet. So that's going to be our sales sheet. So I'll name this as sales. So here I'll go to the top, and then I'll completely merge and center. So here I'll have the title as sales over here. I'll make this bold, and also I'll make it center align. And let me try to fill this with the color. So in the sales sheet, I'll try to have what is going to be the order date over here. And then next is going to be the order ID or the invoice ID, whatever we want, we can have it here. And next is going to be which item they are ordering, and what is going to be their SKU, and then how many quantities they are trying to order. Then we'll have the status. So the status is nothing but whether it's shipped or it's delivered. So all this is going to be the status over here for this table. So I'll completely select this. I'll make this bold, and let me try to fill this with the color, and I'll little bit try to adjust these columns. So now let me try to have some sales orders over here. So I'll say 5th Jan 2025. So here let me say that the order ID is going to be IN001. So this is going to be the order ID. So we can have any order IDs like this. Okay. So this is going to be my order ID, and then the item, let's say almonds. And now when I say almonds, I want to have what is going to be the particular SKU for that almond. So to do that one, we have already given the SKU in the inventory table over here, right? So we have already mentioned the SKU. So if I want to take that SKU over here, I can use the VLOOKUP function. So I'll say if error, I'll open the brackets. So I'll say VLOOKUP, and I'll open the brackets. Next is what is going to be the lookup value. So the lookup value is going to be almond. So I'll select this, give comma. Then I'll go and select the table array. So the table array is going to be this, the complete table array we have. So I'll select this comma. So this table array, where is the SKU located? So for example, in the first column or the second column. So it's actually located in the second column. So I'll give comma 2, and then I'll say false. So I'm saying false at the last because I want the exact match. So that's why I'm giving false. I'll open the brackets. So if there is an error, we'll have no values. Just I'll give opening and closing quotations. So this is going to be the, so here I'm getting it as an error because instead of false, I have given a dot over here. So that's why I'm getting it as an error. So now when I press enter, I'll get the SKU. So now I can just try to actually flash fill this formula over here completely. So now I'll just first try to go and try to do the absolute referencing. So since the table array is going to remain the same, I'll just try to do the absolute referencing over here. And now I'll just try to flash fill this formula completely. So next, let's say 10th Feb 2025. So I'm going to have other order. So and then it's going to be IN002. That's the invoice ID. And here, let's say, so dried berries. So when I say dried berries, automatically you can see I'll automatically get the SKU. So now I can have the quantity. So let's say like 40 quantity is going to be the order. For the next order, let's say it's going to be 50 quantities. So like this, I can have the quantities. So now next is we need to come for the status column. So here I'll try to create a drop down. So I'll go to insert, and then I'll create a drop down for this one. So let's say the first option is going to like 2-pack. So that's the first option. So second option, I'll say it's ready to ship. So these are the different stages in the particular order. So next is going to be shipped, and then next is we'll have delivered. So the fourth is going to be cancelled, and the next is going to be, let's say if the order is going to be on hold, we can just say order on hold, and then next is going to be return to inventory. So if the order has been returned to inventory, these are going to be the different status we are going to have, shipping status we can say. So I can just try to completely fill this over here. So here I can go and say this is shipped, and then the second order, let's say it has been delivered. So like this, I can just say the status over here. So if I'll also try to go and add another bill. So I'll say 2025. So it's going to be IN003, and then the item, let's say it's going to be cashew. So let's say 300 is going to be the quantities, and the status is delivered. Okay, so let me have one more order. So here I'll say IN004, and then it's going to be dried berries, and it's going to be 200 is going to be the order, and it's the status is to back. So like this, we can just try to have our complete values, like all our sales details in this particular table. So we'll be easily able to track what are the status and how much items has been we have shipped. Everything we'll be able to completely see with the help of this particular table on the sales data over here. So next, we'll try to have and create a dashboard over here. So I'll go and say this as dashboard, and I'll completely select this. So I'll merge center. So here I'll call this as dashboard. So I'll try to increase the size of this, and I'll make this bold. So let me try to fill this with the color, and let me try to change the text color over here. I'll try to have it as center align. So now in the particular dashboard, so let's try to have the first some key pointers. So let me say I'll just try to combine these three cells over here. So all these six cells, I'll just try to combine this. So first, let's try to have the total products. So how many ever products I have, I'll just try to have it over here. Next, I'll just try to merge center. Similarly, like this, I'll just try to copy and paste this here. So here, next is going to be, we'll have the quantity in stock. So how many quantities like I have in stock, we'll try to have it. So next is I'll have quantity sold. So that is going to be the next thing. So I'll completely select these key pointers over here, and I'll just try to increase the size. I'll make this bold, and I'll also make this center line. And I'll try to draw a light border here. So here I can just select this, and then I can just try to fill this with the color. So for both these things, I'll just try to change the color, and I'll fill this with the color. So here we have. So now if I want to find totally how many products I have in my inventory, so that is the different products, whatever I have, I can just try to use the formula, and then I can just try to find from the inventory. So here I'll be using the COUNTIF formula. So I'll say is equal to COUNTIF. I'll open the brackets. So I'll go to inventory. So I can just completely select the range over here completely, and then I'll give comma. So the criteria is nothing but it's going to be inside the quotations. I'll just give like greater than and lesser than symbol over here. So that is some values there inside that particular cell. That is what I'm just going to check. And then when I give enter, see, you can see I'm getting the value as there are totally 4 products in my inventory. So if I try to go and add any more product over here, automatically on the dashboard, it will just try to reflect. So this is going to be the total products in my inventory. Next is total quantity in stock. So how many products I actually have in stock. So if you want to find out, so I'll say is equal to sum, and then I'll just open the brackets. So here the quantity in stock, that means in our inventory we need to go, and then whatever in hand we have, right? So this one I'll completely select this range over here completely, and then I'll close the brackets, and when I press enter, see, you can see this is going to be the total quantity in stock. So next is quantity sold. So sold will be there in the sales sheet. So I'll say is equal to sum. I'll open the brackets. So I'll go to the sales, and then I'll just completely try to select the quantities whatever has been sold. So now you can see 5,000, like 590 quantities have been sold, and here 1,050 quantities are in stock. So easily we'll be able to see the key pointers over here. So next is how much quantities are in stock. So if you want to create a graph for that, so I'll just try to select all the items over here, and whatever is in stock, I'll just try to completely select this. I'll try to go and then insert a chart. So this is the chart. So on hand versus item. So how many items are in hand? So we'll be able to see with the help of this chart. So I'll just try to copy this chart, and then I'll just try to have this chart in the dashboard. So here is my chart. So now we can just try to delete this chart. So this is not required here. So I'll go to the dashboard. So now we have a chart over here. So I can just try to go and change the colors over here. So I'll change this to this color. So this is going to be the color for the chart. So how much is in hand? We have the stock. we'll be easily able to see with the help of this particular graph. We can easily find out. So next is we'll try to create a graph for how many quantities are actually like on the sales. We have the different shipping status, right? So we'll just try to have a graph for that. So you can see there are different status. So let's say first is I'll have it as status, and then here let's say the shipped, and then next is we have delivered, next we have 2-pack, and we have ready to ship. So these are some of the important categories. So here I'll just say is equal to count if, and then I'm going to trying to find how many shipped category, like in the status, how many shipped are going to be there. So I'll completely select this and give comma. So the criteria here is going to be shipped. So I'll say shipped inside the quotations, and then I'll give enter. So you can see over here I'm getting this one. Similarly, I'll just try to do for the others. So I'll say count if, open the brackets, I'll go and completely select the range, then I'll give comma. So the second what category we have is delivered. So I'll go and say delivered, I'll close the brackets. So this is going to be the formula. So 2 is delivered we have. So next is I'll say is equal to count if, I'll open the bracket. So 2-pack we have. So I'll go to the sales, completely select the data range over here, and then I'll say 2-pack. So here I have 1 2-pack, and now last is ready to ship. So I'll say count if, open the brackets, I'll completely select this, and then I'll give ready to ship. So these are the different categories now we have got. So here like 2 is in delivered status, 1 is shipped, and 1 is 2-pack. So we'll have. So here I can completely select this, and then let me say I'll go and insert a chart. So I'll go and change this to a bar chart like this. Okay, so this is going to be the chart. So here I'll have this chart over here, and then I'll just try to go and customize this. So the chart title we can have as shipping status. So how much is shipped, delivered, 2-pack, or ready to ship. We'll have the complete status over here. And also I can just try to go and change the color. So let me try to fill this with this color. So this is going to be shipping status, we'll have it. So next we'll also try to have one more graph. That graph we'll just try to have according to our, that is whether our stock is in stock, low stock we have. So for that we'll just try to have a graph. So here we'll have totally 3. So first is low stock, then we'll have out of stock, and last we have in stock. So this is going to be the 3 categories. So here also I'm going to use the count if formula. So I'll say is equal to count if, I'll open the brackets. So I'll go to the inventory, completely select this range over here, and then I'll give comma. So if it is going to be first is low stock, so that's going to be the criteria. So 1 is in low stock. So next I'll say is equal to count if, open the brackets. So I'll go to inventory, completely select the range, I'll give comma. So now next is going to be out of stock. So 0 out of stock I'm getting, and then last is going to be in stock. So is equal to count if, I'll open the brackets, I'll go and completely select the range, then give comma. So in stock. So this is going to be the complete table we have over here. So I'll just completely try to select this, and I'll just try to create a graph, a chart over here. So let me have a pie chart or a donut chart for this one. So maybe we have also a donut chart. So let's try to have this. I'll just try to have the chart over here. So for this chart, we can also have the title. So we can have the title as like inventory status. So that can be the title over here. So if I want, we can in stock, we can just try to have it in a green color, and then the low stock, we can just try to have it in a light red color. So like this we can have. So now we'll be able to easily see with the help of this dashboard, like you can see how many products are there, what is the quantity is in hand, and how much have been sold. So also there are different graphs to show how the shipping status is and what is in hand, what is item, and inventory status. So all we will be able to track it with the help of this dashboard. So also we have created an inventory sheet to completely track our inventory, then a sales sheet to completely track all our sales over here. So here is how we can create a simple inventory tracker in Google Sheet. So if you wish to use this inventory tracker template and then track your complete inventory, I have given the link in the description. You can just try to go and download this inventory tracker from there. Also, I have created multiple templates for your small businesses like the CRM tracker, like the business planner, risk assessment, income expense, profit and loss statement, and many different trackers I have created. So if you wish to use these trackers, you can visit my website plrduck.com and then you can try to download it from there. The great thing is that these templates are available for both Google Sheet and Excel. And it also comes with master resale rights and commercial rights, where you can try to edit these templates as per your wish and then share it with as many people you like. I hope you would have liked this video. Please do like and subscribe my channel for more such content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.